Okay, Boker Tov and Lag Sameach. And Tzvi wanted to know if we're going to start with some music.
Is that from last night?
No. Das Kodesh, נמשך מיdas HaKodesh, נעשת ציץ מוזיקה, ולא ישתובב. ביי, שחתו עצמך, שמש עשונך ולכו, שחתו עצמך, שמש עשונך ולכו. Saga Mashibarata, then Alasorin Shamadita, Shem Panisa, Hotel Hadalecha, Chaim Shachta Secha, Shem Etrasa Mecha Berecha, Yodum Orecha, Vayachai, Shemen Sosa, Mecha Berecha, Vayachai, Nimshach Ashecha, Shemen Sosa, Mecha Berecha, Ruchim, Amedecha, Ba'amakechochim, Soy de Torah b'tzisim ufrachim, Naste Adam nema bavurecha, Yechai nimshachta ashecha, Shemen Sosa mecha berecha, Vayechai Shemen Sosa mecha berecha, Vayechai nezata b'gzira, Nechemes Eita Sashara, Necherev Otzeisa Mitara, Shorata Neged Shorere, Vayechai Nimshachta Ashecha, Shemen Sosa Mecha Berecha, Vayechai Nimshachta Ashecha, Shemen Sosa Mecha Berecha, Vayechai Limkom Higati Usnei Ayelayi, Gam Guas Koseres Al Ayi, Kosi Mishirecho, Vayechai Nimshachta Ashecha, Shemen Sosa Mecha, Vayechai Nimshachta Ashecha, Shemen Sosa Mecha, Ayechad b'kodesh HaKodesh, Kav Yorot Mechadesh Kadoshim, Zeva Shabbosos Nur Chamishim, Koshat HaKisrei, Din Kisolecha, Vayechai Nimshachta Ashecha, Shemen Sosa Mecha Berecha, Vayechai Nimshachta Ashecha, Shemen Sosa Mecha Berecha, Vayechai Yitzchokma Keduma, V'ishtavta Lechvod L'nima, Sosin Ustayim. אשרי הם עומדך, אשרי העומדים על שדך. כל ישתן מחבורך ביי. וששון אשרי העם הם עומדך, אשרי העומדים על שדך. ובושך חושך תומך ובורך נמשך אשריך, שמש רצון מחברך ביחי נמשך אשריך, שמש רצון. So let me ask you, Tzvi, Ani Ashol Etcha, who was the Mechaber of Bar Yochai, and how do we know, have a hint of who he was? And the answer is, his name was Shimon Lavi. And if you look at the Rashi Prakim, each one spells out Shimon Lavi, who was a Makubal, and he was the Mechaber of Ketam Paz, Nolad B'Sfarad.
Kesem Paz.
What?
Kesem Paz.
Kesem Paz, right. Okay. Nolad B'Sfarad, he was Gurash, he was expelled in 1492, and he went to Paz, Morocco, and...
Fez, right, Fez.
Fez. No, Faz. Okay. Pei Aleph Samech, Faz. Morocco, not Fez. And then he lived in the 16th century, and in 1551, 1551, he giya le Tripoli, and he was the Rav Kehila for most of his life.
Shimon Lavi.
Shimon Lavi. And if you see, Shemen, Moshav, Atzei, V'lisadei, Nezarta, Lemakom, Bekodesh, Yud, Or Mufla. That spells out Shimon Lavi. Okay, anyway, that's... But what's more important, especially this year, with Sakanas Nefashos and they closed Meron, what's more important, to daven at the Kaisel, as you thought it was a little more crowded, or to go to Meron? So it turns out the Chassam Sofer wrote that it's better to learn Torah, and Chazon Ish and the Stipler and Rabbi Yoshev all said, in fact, they asked Rabbi Yoshev, should he go to Meron? And he pointed to the Gemara, and he said, Reb Shimon is da. Reb Shimon is there, into the Gemara.
Very good.
So, and I want to read from Machpud. You know, I don't know about you in Kashrus, my Rebbetzin.
Shlomo Machpud.
Yeah, well, I know my Rebbetzin is Dafka, Reuben, and Badatz. No, but I'm just saying, even Machpud, you know, I don't want to get into it, but, you know, that's the way she is. I, on the other hand, I think Shlomo Yosef Machpud wrote on the occasion of this Lag BaOmer, he wrote as follows. V'zos aleichem ladas, ki atzadik eino mugbal l'gvula shel mokom uzman bilvad, kfi shekvar kotvu atzadikim v'rosham hari v'haramchal, ki oro shel atzadik poshit k'chol ever upina shebo lomdim es torasa u'mazkirim et shmo b'limud, b'bchinas ha'omer b'gemara sof whatever, his lips, dovavos b'kever b'shah she'omrim shmo mipiv. Hare sheba'osa shah she'atem oskim b'torasa shel atana hakadosh Reb Shimon Bar Yochai haroi hu nimsa imachem mamash b'toch hayeshivas b'botei medrosas b'chol mokum shebo yilmadu es dvarav nimsa shchina v'shom nimsa atzadik b'ficha bilvavcha la'asoso l'lamdo. And in that vein, I figured we should learn a few of the limudim of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Here we go. Gedola malacha shmechaberes ba'aleha. That's from the Dorim Mentes Amid days. Noach lo la'adam sheyapil atzma l'kivshin eis v'yalbin b'nei chaveru b'rabim. Bava Metzia Nuntes Amid Aleph. Hanoi v'hakoach v'osher v'koved v'chokma v'zikna v'aseva v'abonim noel l'tzadikim v'noel l'olam. Ovos, Perek Vov, Mishnah Ches. Sholosh matanos tovos nasan l'kadosh baruch hu Yisrael. V'kulam lo nasan elay deis Yisurim v'elim Torah v'eretz Yisrael v'olam haba. Brachas, Hey Amid Aleph. Miyom shebara Kadosh Baruch Hu es ha'olam lo haya adam shekara leKadosh Baruch Hu Adon ad sheba Avram v'kara Adon shneimar vayomer Adonai Hashem Elokim b'meh eda kirishena. Bracha Zayin Amid Beis.
That's what Rashbi says that?
This is the Kiddushim. Minayin she'em mitzarfin lo l'adam en she'em maratzim lo l'adam b'shas kaso shneimar panay yechu v'anichos iloch. Kol ha'kovei ha'mokom tfiloso oivov noflim tachdov. Ma'idich siv, ani tfilosi l'cha Hashem eis roson. Emosa eis roson. B'shah she'tzibor mispalvelim. This is limudim Shimon Bar Yochai.
So Rav Shimon Bar Yochai is right here in the car with us.
Right in the car, and I want you to know I'm posting it on the chat. I'm posting it so that you can see many more limudim of Reb Shimon. And I just want to mention today is the yahrzeit Yudches Iyar of the Ramah, and also, of course, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, which I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to get to you. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Shalom ben Moshe Buzgalo. Anyway, Tzvi, you told me that today is a yahrzeit, and please tell us about the yahrzeit of today.
Today's the yahrzeit of the Zayde, Tzvi Zev, because Ani Nikra al Shma, I'm named after him.
Zev, what's the English?
Zev.
William?
Harry William.
Okay, because I just had
Sounds
yahrzeit.
like a prince, no?
Well, no,
Prince
Harry,
Harry
you are Harry Kleber now. Anyways, because was he a Kleber now? We're talking about.
No, he was a Tolchinsky.
Tolchinsky. Okay, so because my Zayda was Lamed Aleph Be'omer 2 days ago, and he was Zalman Meir ben Zev, and my uncle was named after him, Uncle Willie, William Zev William. So that's why I asked whether your name was Zev.
What? I said Tzvi Zev ben Pinchas Eliezer.
Yes, and
Tzvi
tell
Zev.
us a little about him. What you remember?
I don't remember because I'm named after him.
Okay, I understand that, but
what
what you were told?
I can tell you what my mother told me.
Yes, that's what you remember.
And my bubby, because my bubby was an almana at 55.
Aye.
He died very young.
Aye.
He was 50, he was also 55. And my bubby lived with us all the years. She lived into her 90s. She lived with my parents in our house. So I knew.
So how many
stories.
years, out of curiosity, how many years was that she lived in your house before she was nifter?
She was about almost 45 years.
45 years. You hear that? For those in the chat, that's kibbud of aim. Wow. Because I had the schus of my mother-in-law living with us 7 years, and we are about to make a trip to the USA.
That's not a schus, that's a nace.
and we're going to be with 3 different kids, and they're all fighting. I think they're fighting where we shouldn't be. Anyway, I'm not chas v'shalom. My kids are wonderful. Kids are wonderful. Anyway, so let's get back. So that's tremendous. So your parents got to know your grandfather, there. And
yeah, of course they know.
45 years.
But
Real schus.
Right. So my Zaidi had a schus that they came from some town right outside of Kiev, and the family came together and they came to Boston, and my Zaidi had a schus that he was very helpful to the people that were being miyaseh the Lubavitch Yeshiva in Boston.
Wow.
Because in Boston was really
a midbar.
It was a midbar. There was really very, very little there, although Paul Visham, but there was nothing really, there was no real kehila. There were a lot of Jews, but not a real kehila. And there was no Jewish day school, so...
Rav Soloveitchik was the first one to...
Same time.
Right.
I don't know who was
established.
First, about the same time.
And there was a gadol that came to Boston. I don't know if the Brisker. There was someone who had a kollel who came. I just mentioned the other day. That shows you my memory. But anyone that learned by the Rabbi Yesha Beer in Boston. But anyway,
there was. He actually opened some sort of a kollel.
Right.
Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim's name. It didn't make it. It didn't last. Somebody else opened a kollel or yeshiva gdoila, Rabbi Leib Hyman, came from Lakewood, opened the Yeshiva G'dayla in Boston. It didn't.
Also.
But that's a different story.
Okay.
But he did have the schus
For Chabad.
to help the Chabad.
And you, in fact, went to school. You went to Cheder in the Chabad.
That's right. I didn't go to Cheder. I went to all the years through high school.
You went through high school. Wow.
That was the other school. It was Maimonides and
I'm surprised you didn't land up in 770 after high school.
Well, that's another story. Anyway, so I'll tell you one short story that my Bubby used to always tell me.
Efter me ken sagen a bisschen Yiddish?
Ach, ich kann erzählt dem Sipor echt in Yiddish.
Ja. Ken sagen Hebräisch, Englisch echt. Alles zusammen. Kugel.
Der Bubbe hat mir gesagt, als es gewesen, ich denke, es gewesen Erev Yom Kippur. וזה hat...
Man darf essen, das Sach.
לא, hat getan dem Achonis,
Tfila Zaka.
der Schule, der Beis HaKnesses. Und sie hat gesehen, als sie sucht für etwas.
Ja.
Also gesagt, was sucht ihr? Also hat gesagt, also sucht für eine Pute.
Pute.
Pute, kein.
Für
was? הוא רוצה שהוא יגיע לבית הכנסת, אז will geben צדוקה.
צדוקה.
כי הוא אמר
צדוקה תעשה לך מהמובס.
העוני חושב כמס. הוא רצה והיה צריך
ישוע.
לחפש. היה צריך לחפש, לא היה להם כסף. הוא היה מחפש פרוטו.
הסחוס.
כן, שיהיה סחוס לפני התפילה.
צדוקה, תפילה.
But the emphasis is that my mother said, even though they were really, a lot of people were poor in those days.
Absolutely.
But my mother said they had very little.
But they had everything.
But she said they never felt that they were poor.
That's beautiful.
She never felt, even though they were very poor. I mean, they were very really...
Instead of osher with an ayin, they had osher with an olive.
My mother said they never knew that they were poor.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, so the Neshama soll haben Aliyah, and ich wünschen euch, also soll haben lange Jahren, Yomim, Aruchim, und Tovim, Shanim, Rochim.
From Farkoyen, das ist eine gute Sache.
Yeah, okay, and we continue the shir with my Tehillim and other things. We have a lot to do. Here we go. With all our singing, we can't forget it's Perek Chav Zayin and Tehillim today. Moshe Chabusha.
أدوناي أوري ويشعي ممي إيران أدوناي معوز حياي ممي أفحال يقرب علي مرعيم لإخوة بسري تراي بأوي إما خشنوا بنفالوا تحني علي محاني لو يراني بي إم تقوم علي بالحمار بزود أني بطيح أحد شألتي مئة أدوناي وتاه أبقيش شفتي ببيت أدوناي كل يمي حياي لحظات بنعم أدوناي والفقير بهيخلو يشبنيني بسكو بيوم رعاه يستيرهني بسيتر أهلو بسوري روب مني وعدت يا روم روشي على أويباي سبي بوتاي بسبحا بأهلو زبحيت روعا شيرا بزمرا لأدوناي شمع أدوناي قولي اقرأ وحنيني وعليني لخا أمر لبي بقي شوفناي اتبنيخا أدوناي أبقيش التستير بنيخا بميني ألطق بأف عبديخا عزرتي هيدا التطيشيني بألتا عزبيني إلهي يشعي كي أبي بإمي عزبوني فأدوناي يسمني وبني أدوناي تبكيخا ونحيني بأورح مشور لما عنشور باي التدنيني بنفس سراي קמו ביעד שקר ויפח חמאס לולי האמנתי לראות בטוב אדוני בארץ חיים קווה אל אדוני חזק ויאמץ לבך וקווה אל אדוני
אחינו כל בית ישראל, אחינו כל בית ישראל, הנשונים בצרה, הצרה ובשביה, עומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. ובשביה עומדים ובין ביבשה. אחינו כל בית ישראל, אחינו כל בית ישראל, הנשונים בצרה ובשביה, עומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. אמן. Today is your side of Shimon Bar Yochai. At least there are many minhagim that say Rashbi nolad in the first mea, nolad b'mea sheni lamad mepi Rabbi Akiva b'nei Brak shloshes reishana nimna im hachachamim שהתקבצו בכרם יבנה, הוזכר בין הנאספים באושה, במדרש תנחומה, מזכיר שמקום המקורים שלו היה במירון, בית מדרש, היה בתקוע בתקין. הוא לימד תורה לרב יהודה הנשיא מתלמידיו, שמעון בן יהודה, רב זוטרא ורב דוסטוי בן יהודה. בגמרא שבס למד ג' עמוד בייז מזכיר וגם כן ירושלמי בשביעית פרק ט' הלכה י' מביאים את המעשה שהתחבא מהרומים שחיפשו אותו, שרב שמעון עם הבנו אלעזר 12 שנה במערה וניזון מעל חירוב ומעיין מים ולמדו תורה מגזירת הקיסר ברומא. ואליהו הנביא אמר להם שהקיסר מת, אז יצאו מהמערה. הוא חיבר את הספרי מפילתא, רב שמעון בר יוחאי, ספר הזוהר, וכל מיני, במשנייס הוא מוזכר, וכמו שהבאתי את כל הגמורס וכל המקומות שיש מקומות שלהם. היום זה גם כן יורצייט של שלום במשה בוזלגו. נולד ב-1700 ונפטר ב-1780, נולד במורוקו, ב-1745 בלונדון, היו דיין ואב בית דין. הוא חיבר מקדש מלך, כיסא מלך, כבוד המלך, קידוש פני מלך, הוא מכונה הרשב"א. אוקיי, היום לפי הגיליון זה הרמה, רמושה אישליס. בן ישראל נולד בקרקו ב-1520 ונפטר כבן 52 שם בי"ח אייר שזה היום, ל"ג בעומר, ב-1572 למד בישיבה גדולה בלובלין והיה תלמיד המובהק של רב שלמה שקנה ונישא ביתו גולדה אישה. בגיל 30 חזר הרמה לקרקו והיה שם דיין וראש ישיבה. אביו ראש הקהילה העמיד לאשתו כסף רב להקים את הישיבה ולפרנס את לומדיה. בשנת 1553 נבחר הרמה לנשיא בית הדין הגדול בקרקו ללא שכר. כשפרצה מחלת הכולרה בשנת 1556 שיצא לשידלוב. שם חיבר פירושו על דרך פרדס על מגילת אסתר בשם מחיר יין. אוקיי. הוא היה בקי בקבלה, והתעניין במדעים, אסטרונומיה, בהיסטוריה, חיבר הגאות לספר היוחסין של רב אברהם זכות, ועודד את תלמידו רב דוד גנז לחבר את הספר צמח דוד. הרמה עמד בחילופי כתבים עם חכמי דורו, כמו המרן מפדואה ויוסף קארו. הרמה כתב ספר תורה, כתב יודו את התיקון שבו השתמש לכתיבתו, קנו לו רב יוסף קארו צפת. קהילת קרקו שמרה את ספר התורה עד שהנאצים ימח שמם השמידו. בין היתר מחיבוריו תורס החטס, תורס העולה, שאלס התשובס. אוקיי, עד כאן היורצייטים של היום. עכשיו הגענו ל"ג שמח. Here we go. Okay, so today again is Yudchet Iyar Lag Ba'omer, and we are learning Perak Mem, Nidxei Yisrael, and we're learning about baking matzahs in a kosher tanur. Im Lisha Vaisisa, Amatzahs, Babai Shekavu Bo, Tanur Sheofen Bo, Amatzahs, Machmas, Shemar Bo, Harbe, Abayis, Chumam. Because you have an oven baking matzahs, it heats the house. Tzorich lizarim ma'od liftoach hadelet v'chalanot. Yeah, make sure that there's ventilation. You open up the door and the windows. Mikol shekain shelo yitasu b'mitzvah b'matzahs neged piyatar. And you should not bake the matzahs. Should not work on the matzahs before you bake them. Before you do the should not be in a warm place, because otherwise, while it will become chametz before you put it into the oven. Small paragraph ches. Lo yanicha isa rega b'li asik. You can't leave the dough for 1 second without working on it. The im munach b'li asik shiur chay minatim. And if you don't work on it for 18, you leave it for 18 minutes. Of course, it's going to leaven. It'll become leavened and it'll become chametz. Savi chametz. V'ima masa asuya riore shalo v'lichimotz muter l'shavro lachzor la'sos. And if you feel that it might have a problem, you could break it. And l'chein tzrichim lizar shalo lialushu isus yoser mima sheyesh ozrim. You should make sure that you don't have more dough than there are people to work on it. Shemgalgalim also, so they could roll it. Dimlokein isa tia menachabali, because then there's a good possibility that there will be dough that will not have been worked on and will become chametz. Small paragraph test. Im ha'isa raka, and if the dough is soft, lo yosupa kemach, should not add flour. She'oto kemach and anilish is not needed with the K-N, needed. Yafeh v'shema lo nefa yafeh, because it's again a different texture. It will not bake. Yafeh yesh lachush she'ilash isaktana mechibel kasher. V'yarvena sham isazu raka shapridami. You have to make sure that it's put together. Avolzeh shalosh raka asur lalush gam hakasha she'ef shel le'adam echad lalush shnei isos b'mamachas. You got to be careful that you have 2 people working on it. Don't have 1 person, because it's impossible. It's hard. It's without avoiding comments to have 1 person that will work on 2 different doughs. And or if the person is poor and he really has a problem with getting the proper dough, mutter lahosif kemach, and then in that time you can add flour. Rak shizar shaloli ten masas the davar lach rak the achlul beyovish sharoken machmis chefus. To make sure that does not get exposed to moisture, because then it becomes chametz. Paragraph yud. Yishoer lachtoch min ha'isa kol kach hatichos kvi mispar. Always we have to cut the dough and to distribute it, to be worked on, to be rolled on, to as many helpers as there are. It's repeating what was said before. But so lo yishar biyadav klum min ha'isa, so that there's not any leftover a dough in the hands of others. V'teikav kishagomrim milolish ha'isa yachalku, and after they finish kneading it, you should give it immediately to the person who rolls it. V'yoser shelo, v'zoher shelo, yipurin al shulchan. You have to make sure there are no chametz crumbs on the table. Kadei shelo yidbeku b'masa tia masa kfula, so that they will be attached to the matzah and become a matzah kfula, which means there are like extra doubled up a matzah, and that could cause chametz, source of chametz. Small paragraph Yadal for Osik Belisha Yizor Be'areva. You have to be careful when you are kneading with a K that you do it, that you have a kneading trough. Shaloshim ba shalo yeshum guma, that the trough should not have any holes, besodik and cracks. The hilkim nasos should be smooth. Avalo yidbakalov chatichos nechushis b'mashmirim el yedei chitu kedei shaloyim shishum tzedek v'chein in osa al shulchan masbelisa sidin. If you going to work on the matzahs where there's no cloth on top of the soil, make sure that any cracks or coverage because if the flour goes into the dough, goes into the cracks, that could create chametz. It's good. The best thing is to put it on thin pieces of metal. Lo yamed reva arkad. Because you should not put the trough on pillows or a mattress. Shemachamim, because they could be warm and they could cause chametz. Well, al begev iber more mutar, but on fabric and on leather, it's okay. When you're working with the dough, you have to make sure that you keep washing your hands, because it accumulates on your hands and becomes chametz. At least every 18 minutes. You have to make sure that you keep cleaning the vessels. To be cleaned thoroughly. After 2 or 3 flowers, for the amount of time that it takes to walk a meal, that's the time that you have to keep changing things. You can't keep it the same way, but otherwise it accumulates chametz. And if you have you have wooden rollers, you have to make sure that it's clean, and keep changing them, and make sure that there are no perforations on them. Magalgalim yashkichu imudbak b'yadeim isa, and again this is repetition. With those who are roll, if they have dough attached to their hands, yirchatzu yadayim, they have to wash their hands so as to avoid making chametz. With that, I wish everybody Lag Sameach.